Hi, my name is Dan, and I'm a Solutions Architect here at InsightFinder. In this part of the video series, we'll be going over the Incident Investigation page, which you can access here from the start or on the left-hand tab. The Incident Investigation page gives you an overview of all the incidents that occurred on your system within a specified date range, which you can adjust here in the upper right-hand corner. Our AI is able to detect which incidents are similar to each other, and it groups it under incident patterns, which are highlighted in blue. You can expand and collapse these. In this case, our system has two incidents that are occurring, the production 911 as well as one that's unnamed, and it's the 974, and that's probably because it's new. You can actually go ahead and click on the set pattern name to give it a unique name once you know it's about. You can see what impacted services or hosts on your system are being affected by this incident. And of course, hovering over it might give you some more information. And under the short description, we can see that the checkout server is returning some sort of 500 error. And hovering over this red icon will give you more information. You can, of course, see at a glance the start time, and hovering over it will give you the duration of how long that incident lasted for. One of the first things you might want to do when you're encountering a new incident is look at any recommendations our AI system has to offer, as well as any previous operator notes, and you can access that there. For instance, we can see that maybe we need to check the deployment on Jenkins, or we need to check the memory and other related metrics that are being collected. Under the summary notes are different information that is provided by previous operators on this pattern. So we can see that the payment gateway is down, and in both cases, we'll need to reverse a buggy release. It might be useful to add on to that once we discover the root cause of the problem, and we can do that here, clicking the add button. And also will show up as the reporter. So if anybody has any questions on what we had to write, they'll be able to find us. All right. So now that we have a general idea what we need to do, we still need to confirm this. And one of the things you can do, if this is available, is look at the likely root causes. So our system does root cause analysis on incidents, and when it's available, it'll be shown here on this icon. On the left-hand side is the graphical representation of the causal chain. This shows how anomalies on your system are actually propagating throughout and eventually leading to that error. So in this case, it starts from that Jenkins change. You can hover over the I, and then it eventually goes through an issue on the core server. And in this case, it's a metric issue. So the usable memory on the system is actually much lower than it usually is. So there might be a memory leak or something similar that's actually taking up too much memory. And this in turn eventually leads into the actual incident. Okay, great. And we can see that's represented here in terms of details on the right-hand side. We can also see the timeline for when these different anomalies occurred. Additionally, from the RCA page, if you'd like to investigate these metric anomalies further, you can access the line chart, which you can find the button here next to the pattern ID/name. Once the line chart has loaded, you can see that the usable memory experiences small spikes, but then right before the incident, which is marked here in red, it experiences a large deviation from where it normally is. All the metrics in the page can be accessed through these line charts here. In addition to viewing these metrics individually, you can access the anomaly line chart button here in the upper right-hand corner. Select the metric project. And now we arrive at a page that shows all the metrics as well as their anomalies and indicators for when the incident happened. So from a glance, you can see how all these different related metrics deviated from the baseline, shown here in blue, and how the incident was flagged due to a large increase. Going back to our page, these causal chains there's many of them, and they are ranked by how likely our AI thinks it is to be the root cause of the incident. And you can view our likelihood by hovering over this little button, and you can see the probability is 100%. If this is correct, we'll give it a thumbs up, and that provides feedback to the system to further make more accurate causal chains in the future. You can also see a history of which operators liked and unliked certain causal chains. Now, there's a lot of causal chains here, but you can click on the aggregated causal chain to get a bigger overlook on all the anomalies that occurred leading up to this incident. Just going through, we see a lot of metrics involving I/O writes are higher, CPU usage is higher, and here's something interesting. There's a Java I/O exception where a file failed to upload. Okay, that tells us a little bit more. That makes sense. Combined with less usable memory on the system, something in the code failed to upload a file, and that caused the 500 error. That makes sense. So most likely there's a bug in this new change event because all this is happening after that. And now we've discovered the root cause of the problem, and we can go ahead and fix that. Going back to this page, now let's say we've fixed the problem. We can actually go ahead, click on status, and close it. So that tells us that anyone else looking, that incident has been resolved. Interestingly enough, it already was resolved, and I can tell because of this little blue hand icon. And that says that an action has been triggered. So it automatically rolled back the buggy deployment for us. And that's how the system is healthy. And that also probably has to do with why it didn't last too long. Now, how do we have this auto remediation step is we can configure it here under the Actions tab. And you can click Configure Action. Clicking on this gives us a number of different actions we can set up to configure when an incident occurs. Now, these are different scripts that we had to make and upload, and I'll show you in another video how to add those to InsightFinder. You can also set the email for who should be notified and responsible for checking if that automatic action actually fixed the problem. Some other features of the page also include these alert tabs, which allow you to look at the alerts occurring on the system, metric anomalies, and so forth. All extra information to help you investigate these incidents. So overall, this page lets you go into incidents, find the root causes, and fix them and address them as quickly as possible. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.